Alright, I've had a request to do a couple stocks, SONC right here, SONC Corporation, and USU, which is, I guess, USEC Incorporated, just to do some quick analysis on them. I'm going right off the cuff here, so I'm going to do what I generally would do. Alright, first things first, take a look at the essential support and resistance zones, taking a look at important trend lines through the long-term chart. That was on a completely different level, so I'm going to mostly disregard that one, unless you might be able to get a stretch with, hold on a sec, let's try, this is our weekly chart. We might be able to get some semblance of a trend line with this one right here. Somewhat. Like I said, well, I haven't said it, but it looks like a pretty old trend line. I'm taking a look at this one too. Put it there, extend it, see where it goes. Actually, that one might have some credence to it, so that would actually be in the long term, which runs from the close to end of 2009 up until today's date. We see a symmetrical triangle in the long term, and we could, since symmetrical triangles are indeed neutral, we have to project price targets from both sides. So we're going to take our duplicating tool, project the lower trend line. I'll change that color to a nice blue, and we'll take the upper trend line and project it, oops, just a sec, like I was saying, take the upper trend line, project it from the bottom, and we find both of our price targets. Now, well, take that back. Those would be the trend lines that we would expect the price to follow. So we're going to calculate our price target over the long term. Like I said, this is long term right now. We're going to take the beginning of the pattern formation, put it to the end of the first reaction. Going to duplicate that, and the general rule with symmetrical triangles is that a breakout occurs anywhere between halfway to the apex, which the apex is right there of the triangle, halfway to the apex, which would run us about middle of 2010, to 3/4 of the apex. So that would run us to maybe a month from now, maybe March perhaps. So expect a breakout eventually. So we're going to see where we expect it to go by, I'm going to project that's going to break out around that point from the $10 price. And we're going to take that line, move it to where we're expecting it to go from the $10 along this trend line, and I know this is painful. I gotta do it every day. Okay, right there. So our first projected target is about 2250, which also corresponds to close to a 52-week high or an all-time high. So bullish target 2250, and our time projection on that one, yeah, we're seriously doing long term here. Our time projection on that one, we would expect it to get there in beginning of 2013, but you got to think about it. To expect, let's see, 961 to 2250, that's over a 100% gain. So, and for a stock that doesn't seem to be very fast moving in the first place, that's reasonable. So $22.50 by beginning of 2013, perhaps February. So a 2-year price target. On the bottom side, we're going to take our same measuring stick per se and project a breakout below the $7.50 level. Move that trend line over, and we can expect a bearish objective. Just a sec, give you a little circle there. We can expect a bearish objective at, yeah, we have a negative number there, so we have a little problem. Even if I do logarithmic scale, we still have the same problem. So we're going to take, yeah, that's, if it would break out to the bottom side, the long-term projection would be that the stock would go bankrupt. So we're going to take that measuring stick again, and we're going to shorten it to 0. So take from the breakout level, move it down to, let's see if my dyslexia kicks in, move it to that mark, and even with that one we expect it to move to 0 fairly quickly. So right now you're in two situations here. You have a move to a stock going to 0 or going to 2250. A complete loss or an over 100% gain. Alright, so we got that done. Let's take a look at the short terms and the mid terms. Alright, midterm right now, this is our 6-month chart. Draw our first trend line and extend that guy. Not too significant of a trend line. We'll just use the 200-day moving average instead. So there's our trend line for the 200-day moving average. I can't find too much from this pattern, what I'm expecting it to do, but take a look at, just a sec, move this up a little bit. Take a look at the times where the volume was high. It's almost like it wanted to have a breakout from this symmetrical triangle at that point. Now, of course, this one had high volume because it was an earnings conference call, and this one did too. So it might have been just because of earnings, but still, it looks like it might have been a tribe breaking out. Okay, so I really can't say too much about the stock right now, except that it is in a, let's go to the 1-year chart, it is basically in a sideways trend. And what do you do to profit on sideways trends? Iron condors, covered calls maybe, but still, it looks like it might move soon. So I'm going to go back to the 6-month chart and take a look at the oscillators, the indicators, which when the price action doesn't tell us something, this tells us what might happen. In fact, actually, just a few days ago, take a look right there. The stochastic, the slow stochastic, is showing a buy signal, and a buy signal is indicated for when the black line moves above the red dotted line at that crossover. Now we take a look to the history, see how that's performed. There was a sell signal right there, and a buy signal didn't work too well, just sideways, buy signal, sell signal. Yeah, for the times, this one is specifically a good buy signal because it's in oversold territory. So I'm going to move out, see if there's another example that would give some extra credence. Let's take a look at, there's an oversold and there's a buy signal literally on the day of the bottom, and from that point on till the sell signal, it went up about 15%. So I might take that one, but as far as buying it, not too sure right now. And taking a look at the even shorter term chart, yeah, still no answers as of this point. The only time that I would make a commitment to this trade would be a breakout from this very large symmetrical triangle that we've seen forming over the past few years, and that might happen in time. So I'm neutral on it right now, but as soon as we see a breakout from this formation, you could certainly make a position. Alright, the other one that I was supposed to look at was USU. Alright, go to the 6-month. Now I'll start with the 5-year chart again. That really doesn't tell me much, just even the longer term chart. Does this tell me anything? It's loading. No. Looks like a classic bubble and then it burst. I'll move to the 1-year chart, see if that tells me anything. Alright, we obviously have a upward trend in the making right now. And this is the intermediate term, maybe even primary trend. Extend that. Yeah, we obviously have a trend line there. I'll duplicate that, see if a price channel has formed. Not really there. That's stretching it. I like at least a few touches. That one. Alright, we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and that one got a little extra hype. So I'll count for that one. The USU right now, it is in an upward channel, so right now you could probably expect this in the short term to, I'll zoom in again, we could expect that to move up to around $6.50 before taking another turn down, and we'll see what happens from there. As far as overhead resistance coming up, the next one would be, that one doesn't look too significant. Yeah, it's sitting right there at the first resistance right now. Actually, it broke through it, so I won't worry about that. The only one that I would be, in fact, worried about would be its 52-week high, which is right here, and coincidentally is also at $6.50. So perhaps if you're looking at trading, you might want to put in a sell order at $6.50, buy on a rebound back to this bottom channel line, probably be around $6, or yeah, it'll probably be around $6, and then you keep holding, because after that, in the long-term trend, yeah, next one, we can see a move to $7. So obviously I keep saying obviously, it's a good buy for right now since it is in an uptrend. But just make sure that you get in a good price. The person who requested this is already holding it, so no need to worry there. If anyone does want to actually get in, I'd wait till, see if it maybe moves down to $5.75 again, or get in at a price like $5.80 or something, closer to this lower trend line, so you limit your own risk. Alright, hope this helps anyone who was watching, and if you have any questions, please post in the comment box.